genius of Trump, right? He puts his political opponents in these classic dilemmas where it's essentially, if you want to look this up, most of you kind of know what it means anyway. I don't mean to sound like an arrogant ass, but you know what Hobson's choice is? It's a choice that's really no choice at all. In other words, like, you could take this horse or no horse at all. Well, that's not really a choice. You have to take the horse, right? Donald Trump, the genius of Trump. Again, I'm not saying everything's 4D chess, but I'm saying a lot of it is that the media misses, is he puts his political opponents into classic dilemmas where either choice is bad. What was someone said it the other day. Was it Gutfeld on the 5? I'm not really sure. Someone on the 5 brought it up. That another genius component, tactical political component of Trump is that he gets his opponents to vigorously support an issue that only 15% of America, i.e. the communist crazy, support. And he gets them to do it vigorously just as a reflexive anti-Trump response. I have a name for that. I've been calling it the show your ass theory. How it just becomes all about fighting Trump at the expense of rationality. I'm going to show you what I mean at the beginning of the show about, again, this government spending issue, how he has the Democrats, unbelievably, they're usually smarter than this, tactically speaking, defending the indefensible. And I'll explain Fanu Lanu, thanks to my man Cat Turd. It was meant to be a joke, but it blew up yesterday. I think it was like 2 or 3 trending on Twitter. Today's sponsored by Beam. Get a good night's sleep. Go to shopbeam.com/Bongino. Use code Bongino for 47% off your first order. Today's show also sponsored by, these guys always tell me, American Financing. Here's a website, AmericanFinancing.net. It's not a .com, AmericanFinancing.net. Americans still have kitchen table problems. A lot of us are carrying really high credit card balances that charge us up to 20% or more each and every month. It's time to get rid of those balances. Homeowners, if you've been waiting to figure out how to get your finances in order, call my friends at American Financing today. They've been with us a long time. American Financing salary-based mortgage consultants are helping homeowners just like you tap into their home's equity to get out of high-interest debt. They're saving the average customer $800 a month by doing this. That's a huge savings. Saving that every month should make this decision really easy. All it takes a 10-minute, no-cost, no-obligation phone call to find out how much you can save. If you start today, you may be able to delay 2 mortgage payments. That's huge. Call American Financing today. Here's the number, 888-994-7660. That's 888-994-7660. Or you can visit the website. Again, it's a .net address, AmericanFinancing.net, AmericanFinancing.net, NMLS 122334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org. All right, fellas, ring that bell. There you go. So just quickly, I love my friend Cat Turd on Twitter. He's the best, probably one of the top 5, maybe the top most influential up there with Libs at TikTok, accounts on X, can move the needle instantly. So I was joking yesterday about the gentleman who has become a national hero, standing up to the raving banshees at this government building, Maxine Waters. I need to identify yourself. Immediately, this guy, and what did you call him, Justin? The most unbothered man in America. So because he's, this guy's probably a low-key guy and doesn't want his name out there, I understand. So I said, listen, we need to give this guy a medal under the moniker Fanu Lanu. Fanu Lanu, Cat Turd, I asked him to make it go viral. I was kind of kidding, but he did. It was trending on Twitter all night. You can go look it up. Fanu Lanu is a law enforcement term when you don't know the name of the person you're targeting. It stands for first name unknown, last name unknown. So out of respect for this gentleman, we're going to call him Fanu Lanu. Fanu Lanu, you are a national hero. We all love you. Thank you for standing up for sanity against the raving Democrat lunatics. So for those of you tuned in to decipher what Fanu Lanu meant, that is it. And a big hat tip to Cat Turd for making that go viral. The guy's got crazy juice on X, man. All right, getting back to what I opened the show with. Listen, Donald Trump has a lot of political superpowers. He does. The ability to make his enemies so angry that they engage in irrational behavior just to look like they're targeting him. It's an incredible thing to watch. You know, someone put this thing out on X this morning and said, if you're a P1 listener in the Bongino Army, you'll get this. You can check it out. Just put my name in X. You'll see it. It's in there somewhere. It's a guy putting $1 or whatever in a Coke machine. It doesn't come out. He's kicking the Coke machine. Now, I got it. So whoever put that up there, you clearly a P1. I got you, bro. I know exactly what you're doing. I've talked about this extinction burst phenomenon over and over. Bear with me. I promise I'm not going to bore you to death with psychology terms, but this matters. An extinction burst, you can look it up on your favorite search engine right now, is a very real thing. It's when you engage in a behavior, $1 in the Coke machine, you get a reward, the Coke, and then all of a sudden you put $1 in and one day it doesn't come out. Behavior, no reward. What happens? People do irrational things. Like what? They kick the Coke machine like that's going to fix the problem. You break it, that's a crime. It's not rational, but they do it anyway. Animals do it all the time, human beings. That is what's going on right now with the Democrats. In the past, they have engaged in this behavior, the $1 in the Coke machine. Just call them a racist, go to the media and say grandma's going to starve to death and have to eat cat food, show a video of grandma getting thrown over the cliff, and government will be continued. Government will continue to waste, fraud, and abuse away our money, and no one will pay attention. And Republicans back down because they were afraid. Not only does Donald Trump and Elon Musk through Doge not back down when they double down and they say, hey, we're going to the military, Pentagon next. We're going to the Department of Education. So what happens? The Democrats are so used to the reward, $1 in the Coke machine, Coke. When the Coke doesn't come out, they're kicking and screaming at the machine totally irrationally. And now Trump has them in this corner. I really hope you enjoyed this explanation because I'd like this to go nuclear if you can make it, up to you. But it absolutely explains human psychology and the irrationality of politics and what the Democrats are doing right now. They're in a corner. They are defending the indefensible. They are defending clear government waste. Sex changes in Guatemala, Peruvian LGBTQ operas. It doesn't matter how much money it is. It matters that it's our money. You know, if Guy were to come up to me and go, Dan, I'm going to put in an order for 72,000 rolls of toilet paper. It's not going to affect our bottom line that much, but it's a waste. What the hell you need that for? What'd you do? Like have a bad meal or something? I mean, why would you need that? This is what the Democrats don't understand. When people hear $2 million for Guatemalan sex changes, they're thinking, you know what I could do with that $2 million? I could buy a homeless veteran $1 million home twice over. I get him a summer home too. The Democrats are too stupid because they're used to getting the Coke out of the machine. It's not happening. So they're whining like children, not realizing that they're in this dilemma, which is this: defend the indefensible, government waste, or don't defend it and watch your gravy train dry up. In other words, let Elon weed out the government waste in conjunction with the Trump administration. And the government waste has been wasted on Democrat causes, which is going to dry up their gravy train. Do you understand the classic dilemma? Defend it, lose political power. Don't defend it, lose economic power. You get it? Do you understand the genius of what Trump and Elon are doing here? They are in a totally, completely untenable position. And now that we are the media Elon owns X, and this podcast, War Room, Charlie Kirk, Benny Johnson, the Magasphere, we're the media now. We dominate the media. Megyn Kelly, Tucker. The left doesn't have the voice to compete with us anymore. So they can't even whine about it. Folks, receipts matter. This is the freaking receipt show. I don't say I can't back up. You think I'm kidding that they're defending the indefensible? That this is so unbelievably unpopular that even for stupid liberals, it's incredible how irrational they're acting right now in this extinction burst? Here's a CNN clip. Yes, CNN. You know, we play this guy often. He appears to be relatively unbiased when it comes to at least left-wing media. Here he is with a poll showing Donald Trump's approval rating is basically through the roof right now. And the Democrats are getting their asses kicked, but they're continuing to kick the Coke machine because they just can't stop the extinction burst. Watch this.
You know, I think one of the things that's so important for politicians is for folks to believe what they're saying and that they're keeping their campaign promises. So I think this gives you a pretty gosh darn good idea of what may be going on. Trump's doing what he promised to do. You go back to April of 2017, it was just 46% of all Americans who said that Trump was doing what he promised to do. Compare that now to February of 2025. You know, there was a good show that was on during the 1990s called A Different World. That is what's going on right now. We're living in a different world. 70% of Americans say Trump is doing what he promised to do. Again, compare that to April of 2017 when it's just 46%. When Americans are 24 points more likely to say that you're doing what you promised to do, it's no wonder that your net approval rating is much more likely to be on the positive side of the ledger than on the negative side.
Brothers and sisters in the Bongino army, receipts matter, man. It's a CNN guy talking about a poll. It's not Fox News or Bongino.com. I'm telling you, of all of the superpowers Donald Trump has politically, he has many. He has weaknesses too, like anyone else. His greatest superpower is forcing Democrats into extinction burst behavior, where either choice they make is a Hobson's choice. There's no choice at all because they're both bad. Defend sex changes in Guatemala, or don't do it and lose your ability to engage in identity politics and profit from it around the world. Either way, brother, you lose. Either way. You think I'm kidding how this is just the beginning? We are the media now. I don't say that. I know some people complain. It sounds arrogant. Number one, I don't care because it's not intended that way at all. You notice when I mentioned the Magosphere, I never mentioned just myself. I mentioned other creators too, because it's not about me. It's about us. I mean that. You got Charlie. You got Benny. You got Bannon. You got Megyn Kelly. You got Tucker. You've got a bunch of great shows out there to pick from. I'm not the only one. I'm honored you're here, but you don't have to be here. There's other choices as well who are just as talented. But we are the media now. The collective audience between those people, Fox News, Newsmax, and OANN, is more than enough to compete and override the traditional mainstream media. They are powerless to hurt us anymore. They can't avoid hiding stuff like this. I want you to watch this. So last night, I'm upstairs in the little office room I have. I watch some TV at night because it's dark. Who cares? Why am I telling you this? But I'm sitting there and I'm going through doing some show prep. And I see this clip by an excellent Congresswoman, Lauren Boebert. This is again about U.S. government money going to fund something so abhorrent that when you hear it, this little clip, it's about 30 seconds. I promise you're going to think it's fake. I actually texted the Congresswoman to be sure this was real. It's real. The Democrats, you want to defend this? Listen to what your money was used to fund. We'll talk about it on the other side, and you'll see how Trump getting them to defend this stuff is just the epitome of tactical political power. Watch this.
Implant aborted baby parts into lab animals. Have you heard of that sort of research?
Yeah, we did an analysis a few years ago showing that over 90% of experiments with using human fetal tissue and putting them involved animals were funded by Fauci's NIAID.
Do you know where they're getting the aborted human fetal tissue?
A lot of it is happening at colleges and universities that have affiliated hospitals that perform that procedure.
Madam Chair, I think we need to look into that as well.
Oh, Madam Chair, I think you do. Thank you, Congresswoman Boebert, for pointing that out. Aborted human baby tissue into like animals? What is it? I'm telling you, I'm not messing with you. I thought that was fake. I had to text her and be like, is this real? This is an AI, right? That actually happened. This is what your tax dollars are funding. You Democrats, are you really sure for the umpteenth time this is the hill you want to die on? They're out there bragging all day. We're suing in the courts to keep human fetal parts implanted into animal wombs or whatever. They're suing to defend all of this stuff. Or NIH overpayments, we're suing to defend it. And they really think this is a winner. This is why I'm going to throw something out of you. I need you all to listen to me for a sec. Hold on, I'm going to black out for you. I need everybody to listen in. Listen in good, okay? That was my grandma. Listen and listen good. My grandmother got mad at me. I love you, Grandma. Don't panic over the Democrats' use of the judicial system to engage in lawfare. There's zero question these judges have so far overstepped, and I'm going to get to it more coming up in my lawfare segment. No question about it. But we knew they were going to do this. It's sad we have to deal with fake judges in robes who are usurping the power of the executive and the legislative branch. I mean, it's sad. It's tragic. But it's not a surprise. We know the Democrats are communists. We know they engage in lawfare. Okay, Dan, when does the good part come? The only salvation to this is why I'm telling you, don't lose a ton of sleep over this. We may not win them all, but we're going to win a whole bunch of them. There is no question that if the presidency matters and the Constitution matters, that we are going to eventually get a judge who's going to say, wait, this judge in Rhode Island said that Donald Trump can't execute functions of the executive branch. And here's why I'm telling you not to freak out. It's going to empower Trump for the rest of the presidency as this makes its way up the judicial ladder, possibly to the Supreme Court, because there's going to be nowhere for them to go. The Democrats that have done this before may incredibly be kicking themselves in the jimmy again. Because it's only 2 weeks in, they're wasting a ton of money and time suing for every little thing. And if 6 months in, they lose 90 out of 100 of these cases, Donald Trump will have reinstituted the constitutional power of the presidency. Again, the Democrats kicking themselves in the nuts. Don't sue, let it go through, and you lose because Donald Trump shows government waste. Sue and lose, which you're going to on many of these, and you empower Donald Trump for 3 more years by the time these things are done. Don't freak out over it. It sucks that they can do this. These temporary restraining orders nationally are a joke. Clarence Thomas has been fighting against these things forever. But wouldn't it be great if not only the executive, it happens to be Donald Trump for the next 4 years, is empowered constitutionally, and these national temporary restraining orders get tossed out too? That's why I'm telling you, move fast, rock 'em, sock 'em robots, keep it going, and keep the Democrats on their heels. The rock 'em, sock 'em robots will continue, folks. There is a major thing coming. You think the fight started now over Guatemalan sex changes and USAID? I'm going to tell you, as not bigger, the USAID fight is huge because it's the deep state piggy bank. However, and if you missed my interview with Mike Benz yesterday, it'll be on the podcast channel next weekend on radio. It was amazing. Benz blew the door off this whole thing. Elon Musk is moving on to the Pentagon next. Folks, you think we've had liberal communist backlash now? But then Democrats don't like defense spending. Hold on. Time out. I'm not talking about, this isn't a Democrat-Republican show. It's an anti-swamp show. There are a lot of weapons programs that don't work, where billions of dollars have been wasted. Those weapons programs are made in very specific congressional districts. Wait till that waste gets uncovered. You think you're just seeing the beginning of the backlash. So get ready, buckle up. Let me take a quick break and I'll show you what I mean. A video by Secretary Hegseth that went out yesterday that he's done with this too. Folks, how well do you sleep at night? Real peace of mind can come from knowing your family's prepared for tough times. Use the company I use, My Patriot Supply for Preparedness. They're a really trusted name I've been using for a long time. They're offering a limited time discount on their supersized mega 3-month emergency food kit. It's not your typical survival food. Each kit provides over 2,500 calories for 90 days with delicious meals and extras, including chicken, beef, fruits, and veggies. We're talking quality meals that last up to 25 years in storage and still taste home cooked. The pandemic taught us how quickly store shelves empty. I've seen it down here in Florida in emergencies. Don't be that guy who runs out of food. Your mega emergency food kit from My Patriot Supply includes free shipping, a disaster replacement warranty, and a 24/7 USA-based support. This special discount is available for this week only. So go today to mypatriotsupply.com now and secure your family's future with a $250 discount on emergency food you need to have. If you order by 3 p.m., they'll ship your order the same day so you can have peace of mind right away. Go to mypatriotsupply.com. Once again, that's mypatriotsupply.com. Get a $250 discount and same-day shipping if you order by 3 p.m. Folks, get prepared. It's serious stuff. Okay. Get ready, folks. Again, this show, yesterday I told you what we weren't going to talk about. We weren't going to do Super Bowl stuff. So, in case you're new to the show, I welcome you here. I love that you're here. Thank you very much. But I have to be candid with you. If you're here expecting a, Democrat, we're going to leave swampy Republicans alone show, this isn't the show. You know my adage on the show. Democrats are the cause of all your problems, even though Republicans may not always be the solution. And when they're not the solution, I'm going to point it out. Defense spending is going to cause an absolute riot in D.C. Do you have any idea how many congressmen are making a fortune off of donors, future lobbying careers, off major military industrial complex weapons programs that don't work in their district? I'm not knocking the defense industry. Thank you for producing the AR-15 I own. Thank you for producing the world's best tanks. I'm not knocking you. I do want an efficient military, however. And we have been wasting a lot of money. Here's Secretary Hegseth. He's absolutely done with this, folks. He's kind of wondering, why is it the Pentagon can't pass an audit? Seems pretty strange, right? Time to get on board. Check this out.
So tell us about this upcoming look at the spending at the Defense Department. Should we expect hundreds of billions of dollars in wasteful spending there?
Unfortunately, I think so. And the president is right. He's setting the pace. And he is also correct that American taxpayers deserve to know exactly how and where their money is spent. The fact that I have to commit, Maria, to an audit being done in 4 years is bad enough. The Pentagon should be able to pass a budget right now. Thankfully, the Marine Corps has passed a clean audit for 2 years in a row, and I applaud them. But that needs to go across the entire department. So that will be a focus. Where we spend dollars, we need to know, or when we spend dollars, we need to know where they're going and why. That's simple accounting, and that has not existed at the Defense Department. We're going to fix that. But that's not even DOGE. I mean, we welcome Elon Musk and DOGE coming into our department to help us identify additional ways in which we can streamline processes, fast-track acquisitions, cut waste, cut tail to put it to tooth.
Secretary Hegseth oversees now PTing with our brave men and women in the military over there. By the way, hat tip, United States Marine Corps for actually passing an audit. I love Marines. I have to be candid with you. I'm jealous. The fact that I never went in the Marine Corps is a sin. I should burn in Hades for that. Really. You guys and ladies out there who chose the Marine Corps, you're the best. There's nothing like a Marine, man. They're a Marine before. You could be the CEO of IBM or whatever. It doesn't mean you're a Marine first. It's like Texas. Texas the same way. You ask people where they're from. From this kind of. You ask people, Texas. Marines are Marines first. God bless you, Marine Corps. And everybody in the chat, give a little salute to our U.S. Marines out there. Who said hoorah? Who said it? Choctaw Marine One, hat tip, brother. God bless you, man. You guys are badasses. Hey, I love the Army, Navy, and you know how I feel about the military, but Marines, I always wanted to be one. My greatest regret in my lifetime. All right, getting back to the show. Folks, this is going to cause an uproar. If you have a weapon system from the 40s that doesn't work, but it brings millions of dollars in jobs to your district, but is costing the United States money, there's no way these congressmen are going to let it go. And it's not a Democrat or Republican thing. It's a swamp thing. It's how the swamp works. We have to stand strong. You want to fix this country? You want to do big things? When I was an agent, my boss used to say to me, be careful, big cases, big headaches. Big cases, big headaches. You want to do big politics? They're going to cause you big headaches, and you better get the freaking Excedrin, because this is how we change this place. They cannot pass an audit because they've been wasting money forever. How bad is it when a left-wing lunatic like Jon Stewart, big gun grabber, Jon Stewart, yes, the same guy, the comedian guy, he's on a panel. Have you ever seen this clip? With Biden's number 2 with the Pentagon. This is not new. This is obviously from a while ago. Jon Stewart, the left-winger, is asking her, hey, man, how is it that you guys can't pass an audit? Like, where's the billions of dollars going? I want you to listen to her cocky, arrogant answer. She admits she doesn't know. Check this out.
to be doing. Like, there is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse within a system.
Audits and waste, fraud, and abuse are not the same thing. So let's decompose these pieces
Please educate me on
Sure.
what
So an
the
audit is
difference
exactly what you just described,
Yes.
which is, do I know what was delivered to which place?
Right.
The ability to pass an audit, or the fact that the DoD has not passed an audit, is not suggestive of waste, fraud, and abuse. That is completely false right there. So
what is
now
it
is a
suggestive
question of, it's suggestive that we don't have an accurate inventory that we can pull up of what we have where. That is not the same as saying we can't do that because waste, fraud, and abuse has occurred.
So in my world,
Yeah.
that's waste.
How is that waste?
If I give you $1 billion and you can't tell me what happened to it, that to me is wasteful. That means you
Well,
are
we didn't
not
necessarily-
responsible. But if you can't tell me where it went, then what am I supposed to think?
This guy's a lefty. He's a liberal. He's asking this Biden Pentagon official, where the hell are these billions of dollars? She's like, yeah, I don't know. But an audit and waste, fraud. You see how they play the euphemisms game? They dance around the word games like, an illegal alien becomes an undocumented visitor to the United States or some ridiculous euphemism. They do this all the time. It's a simple question. The way to beat this, by the way, is to always bring it back to ground level. Don't let them elevate the conversation using words into things unconnected to what's happening on the ground. Don't let them do it. Go right back to the question you started with. I didn't ask you what words you're using or any other stuff or dancing around it. Where is the money? Why can't you tell us? Listen to your buddy Dan here. You think USAID caused the storm? Wait till a military industrial complex, they start asking questions there. I'm telling you, bank it, flag it. Producer Jim, we haven't flagged anything in a long time. Flag it right now. Red flags in the chat. You are going to see even swampy Republicans like, well, we need the Hang Glider 62 for G.I. Joe-like aerial missions. And you're going to be like, what? Oh, the factories in your district? Watch. There we go. Tear it up, that chat. Tear it up. We have the best emojis, don't we? Karate Man, Fugazi, red flags everywhere. I love it. We got to be, when we open the new studio, we'll even do even more. You got to see the studio, by the way. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. We're going to do an audience show. It's opening soon. Everyone hat tip Paula. Paula did an amazing job on the design. Guys, how does the studio look? It's pretty freaking awesome. We're opening. You guys are going to see it too. So, all right, let me take a quick break here. When I get back on this, we're going to go into our, what was that?
Thanks.
Wait, one more time.
Thanks.
That poor guy, we've never heard from him again after we outed him on the show as a moron. The next segment's going to be important. I'm going to document for you quickly the judicial warfare going on around the country. And I have a proposal. Granted, I mean it hyperbolically, but it's meant to accentuate a point about the liberals defending these judges right now who are clearly acting as legislators and executives and not judges at all. I'm going to ask him a simple question. If Trump were to do X, would you be happy with it? Hey, one of my favorite traditions is choosing New Year's resolutions. We all get the opportunity to start the year fresh, set goals, tackle new challenges. This new year, I encourage you to learn something new. With Hillsdale College, they have more than 40 free online courses, more than 40 free online courses. Learn about the works of C.S. Lewis, stories in Genesis, the meaning of the U.S. Constitution, the rise and fall of the Roman Republic, or the history of the ancient Christian church. With Hillsdale College's free online courses, they're really incredible. I've been enjoying lately American Heritage. It examines the history of America from the colonial era to the present, including the major challenges to the founders' principles and great controversies in America's history, including the current crisis of progressivism. They have centered around the meaning of those basic foundational principles. These courses are self-paced, so you can start whenever and wherever you like. So go today to hillsdale.edu/Dan and enroll. There's no cost. It's easy to get started, and you'll get smarter by the day. You'll become a better debater, too. That's hillsdale.edu/Dan to enroll for free. Hillsdale.edu/Dan. The courses are great. Check them out. The Roman Republic one is fantastic too. And last, Blackout Coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, time to start your day with a piping hot cup of the official coffee of the Bongino Army. Blackout Coffee. It's an active supporter of hardworking Americans who see work as their duty. The flavors are amazing. They got this blueberry crumble, this dark chocolate, cinnamon French toast. Their espresso is incredible. The regular coffee is amazing. Why? Because they're premium beans. They're not these lower grade crap beans that these other places shove down your throat. It's horrible, that other stuff. This is the real deal. It is a bold, never bitter coffee using premium beans. I personally recommend it. The folks at Blackout Coffee ship within 48 hours of roasting. So do me a favor. Tastes amazing. Go to blackoutcoffee.com/Bongino and see what I'm talking about. Again, this is the real deal. It's time to quit drinking that woke crap coffee every morning. Drink Blackout Coffee. Go to blackoutcoffee.com/Bongino or use coupon code Bongino for 20% off your first order. Make the switch to Blackout Coffee. You'll thank me later for it. It's fantastic. Thanks, Blackout Coffee. All right, back to the show. Judicial warfare, ladies and gentlemen, is going on right now. This is not new. Listen, man, everybody knew this was coming. It's not a good thing. It's a horrible thing, but it's not a surprise, okay? You go to a Freddy Krueger movie, you know there's going to be Wolverine like razor blades slicing up some young kids who fall asleep. It's a horrible thing, even in the movies, but you knew what you were getting into. When we won, I told you prior to the inauguration of Donald Trump, I told you prior to the election, if we win, the Democrats will impeach Donald Trump. Al Green's already trying. They're talking about impeaching Elon Musk now, which is freaking insanity. And I told you they would be in the courts if Donald Trump clipped his fingernails. They'd be like, he's not authorized to do that. They're doing it. It sucks, period. However, there is a bright side to this. The bright side is a small one, but they're going to sue 1,000 times. I think we could win 850 to 900 of them. They'll probably sue more. It is going to reestablish the power of the executive that the Constitution and the Founding Fathers intended, and then they're going to have to deal with an empowered Donald Trump for 3.5 more years, or maybe 3 after these court cases resolve. They're wasting a ton of time on every little thing defending the indefensible. Here's just a brief update about what happened just in the last few days. They are working overtime to make sure this government gravy train continues. They're shopping. They're doing this judge shopping thing, folks. Do you know about this? Here is Elon Musk, who now goes by Harry Bolze. Some of you will get that, by the way. Harry Bolze. It's kind of like, by the way, the McGroin crew out there, I would be disappointed if you can, hold on, keep that on the screen. If there is not a Big Balls McGroin yet, there is. Oh, if there isn't, forget it. The McGroins, we're going to have to divorce. I'm sorry. Is there a Big Balls McGroin? Someone please point it out in the chat. Because if there isn't, there better be one quick. Anita's not here today. Speak the Truth is out there, but there's got to be a Big Balls McGroin. So we've got Harry Balls, otherwise known as Elon Musk. You know what's crazy? I'm not messing with you guys. I actually, for a second, even though they told me this, got a little confused there. I'm like, who the hell's Harry Balls? Even though before the show, they're like, dude, I just want to warn you, Elon changed this thing. You recut it this way. There you go. Good job, Justin. So Harry Balls, Elon Musk is like, they're judge shopping. You know what judge shopping is? Judge shopping, folks, is when you go and sue in a regional area of the country that has a large majority of Democrat-appointed judges on the bench. It's really simple. Where would you go? You go to New York and the West Coast. They're not going to sue in Florida courts. They go up to the Northeast. That's why you keep hearing like Massachusetts judge, Rhode Island judge. Not only that, the appeals courts are also stacked with Democrats. So this is what they're doing. This is why Clarence Thomas has been speaking out about the national restraining orders. How a judge in New York can give a restraining order for a congressional district in Wyoming is ridiculous. Clarence Thomas has been warning about this forever. This A. Muse on Twitter is talking about this lawfare too. How this Obama-appointed judge threatened Trump and his team with arrest if they don't restore every dime of funding that have been paused or canceled. Folks, my recommendation is Donald Trump should ignore this. This judge is obviously not acting constitutionally at all. It should be ignored. Demand resuming all, but you can't order the executive to spend. I mean, you've effectively usurped the power of the executive. Now, before I get to the next, I'm going to play you a video by Crazy. Big Balls McGroin is here. Big Balls. I knew we had one. I knew it. I was thinking about this on the Monday show. I'm like, we better have a Big Balls McGroin or the McGroin Army's losing their influence, man. Thank you. You guys, I knew the McGroins would be there. I knew. You guys and ladies are the best. That's fantastic. Folks, threatening with arrest. Who's going to arrest them? The marshals? You guys know who the U.S. Marshals work for? Department of Justice. That is under the, executive branch. Donald Trump's going to order his own arrest and his team. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Here's my suggestion before I play this video. Again, I'm speaking hyperbolically, obviously, but it's meant to accentuate a point. We are a constitutional republic. This judge is clearly making up powers he does not have. He does not have power to demand the president spend money. I mean, what if, let me give you an example of what I mean quick. Sorry, but this is so important. The president finds a fraudulent payment to a terrorist group planning an attack on the United States. Can a judge order that payment be made? Of course not, Dan. What's the difference? There's no difference. Donald Trump's the executive. He says we have a problem in the executive branch. Hold on to these payments. The judge can't order these. He's just making it up. So here's my suggestion. If liberals are okay with judges making up constitutional powers, are they okay with Donald Trump fabricating executive powers? How about this? How about Donald Trump in the East Room of the White House sets up a courtroom, like remember the Batman movies? Scarecrow has the courtroom. What was it, the Bane one? It was at the Dark Knight or whatever. That's what we need to do. We need to set up a courtroom. Donald Trump can sit there. He can even wear like the wigs they wear in the UK court system, and he can just start making judicial decisions. He can't do that, bro. The judge can't do it either. What's the difference? If the judge is the executive, why can't the executive be the judge? Ask your stupid liberal friends that. This is clearly a made-up, fabricated power. So you're telling me, Joe Biden, despite being told by the Supreme Court, you cannot pay off student loans with taxpayer money without congressional authorization. Joe Biden says, middle finger, bro, I'll do what I want. That's okay. But Donald Trump saying, don't spend money because we have a problem, that's not okay. Just to be clear. Here is Democrat communist Norm Eisen. I really can't stand this guy. You want to just go and research major Democrat scandals of the last few years, and you'll see the attachment to the legal lawfare space and people like Norm Eisen. Here is Norm Eisen, deep state hack, bragging on MSNBC about basically burning the Constitution and using lawfare to stop Donald Trump from cleaning up any aspect of government, putting the Democrats in a big dilemma. Check this out.
A shock and awe assault on the foundations of our democracy with all of these unconstitutional and illegal actions, and a responding shock and awe by my group and our allies and many others, going to court and securing these orders, stopping them. I won orders last week, the very first case locking Mr. Musk out of the Treasury Department. He has no right to look at that data. Tying the hands of the president, the attorney general, and others who want to reveal the identity of 6,000 FBI agents. They don't have any legal right to do that under the Privacy Act and otherwise. We're in court this morning arguing that Donald Trump's birthright citizenship, rewriting the Constitution, he gets to pick and choose who are citizens of the United States. No, we're in a courtroom right now with our allies fighting that, and we filed a brief on behalf of Anna.
This guy is a deep state hack like you've never seen before. Notice how this guy, again, has no problem, by the way, appears to have no problem with judicial lawfare where people are dragged through the process to ruin their lives. And yet when Donald Trump sees that there may be some partisan bias in a supposedly nonpartisan FBI and wants to weed it out, Norm Eisen goes crazy. And he uses all the keywords, doxing, illegal access to our data. He's making all of this up. Folks, they are going to die on this hill, and Norm Eisen is too freaking stupid to understand the corner he's in. He is never, ever going to win this argument. He is living in the era of Walter Cronkite where they think they own the narrative. Here's a perfect Batman analogy now. Remember Bane in that scene? Do you feel like you're in charge? How he puts his hand, palm up on the guy's shoulder. Do you feel like you're in charge? Norm, buddy, you can sue all you want, Daddy-O. You may win 1 out of 10. But as Rock'em Sock'em continues, you win 1 out of 10, we do 20 more executive orders. You win 2 out of 20, we do 30 more executive orders. You win 3 out of 30, we do 50 more executive orders. We've got the House, we've got the Senate, and we do at least have a small advantage on the Supreme Court. We don't need to win them all. You ever hear, you don't need to outrun the bear. I just need to outrun Michael. Norm's too stupid to figure this out. Instead of marshaling their forces right now, the Democrats, getting their donors together, their email list, their activist base, and selectively picking fights they think they can win. They're doing this shotgun birdshot approach, which is making them look chaotic. It's wasting assets. They're going to lose most of them, and they're going to empower Donald Trump moving forward to reestablish the executive branch. It's going to be probably the biggest backfire of the presidency for them. Here's another one. Kyle Becker on Twitter, another judge who's under the delusion the American people elected him president. Judge Kenneth Gonzalez, appointed by Obama, big shocker, has told the president of the United States that he can't deport Venezuelan gang members to Gitmo. Folks, this isn't funny. It's just like that this judge thinks in the end he's going to win this. You're going to lose. It's another temporary restraining order, by the way. You're going to lose. These judges, you can tell right away by who appointed them, probably 90% of the time, what they're going to do. The law is meaningless to these people. Venezuelan gang members in the country illegally. Gang members. No, you got to keep them here so they can rape and terrorize and kill people? For real. This is the hill you guys want to die on. You sure? These are not serious people. You throwing a judge in front of your name means absolutely nothing. If the presidency means nothing, this low-level judge means absolutely nothing. I'm telling you, POTUS, President Trump should set up a little court in the East Room of the White House. He should. If this is where we are now, the executive's not the executive, the courts are the executive, well, the executive should just do what they're doing. Of course, the FOing, folks, is going to continue. I told you this. The way to defeat this stuff is they want to sue. They're the ones spending the money or the time. Oh, we're donating our time. It doesn't matter. You can only be in one courtroom at a time. They want to sue 10 executive orders, issue 100 more. We win, you lose on numbers. So here's what I'm hoping to make a daily FO segment. The Democrats FA'd. They effed around. Now they're finding out. And every single day, they're finding out more. Here's a good one. I didn't cover this yesterday. I'm sorry. I know a lot of you asked, given my prior line of work. President Trump ordered the Secret Service to give him every bit of information about the 2 assassination attempts against him. Folks, I told you a long time ago, it's now being reported by Axios and others, and Susan Crabtree. The Iranian threat via drone to President Trump was real. I've got to tell you something. I usually care about feedback on this a lot. The sources I have on this are, I'm just going to leave it at that. They're unimpeachable. The Iranian threat against Trump was real. The drone threat was real. President Trump does not want to die. Now, I will say this. He's ordering the Secret Service to give him every bit of information. The Secret Service has this thing, so you understand the mechanics, not to bore you to death, but they have a memorandum of understanding with the FBI. The FBI investigates assassination attempts. He needs to order, I'm sure he has, by the way, the FBI to give him the information too. They cannot tell him no. But the Secret Service will have in their Protective Intelligence Division something about this. He says, no more holding back because of Biden. I'm entitled to know when they've held it long enough. Yes. Fess up on the information. You're telling me we don't know anything about these two potential assassins that could have killed him? One guy shot him in the head. Of course they know. Was there an Iran connection or not? Maybe there wasn't. Just let the man know. Second, unusual whales tweet. A lot of FOing happened, folks, for the left. Donald Trump's asked the DOJ to review firearms rules and regulations drafted by President Biden, setting up a likely reversal of many of those policies. Yes. President Trump and Pam Bondi are on board to determine any ongoing infringements of the Second Amendment. Ladies and gentlemen, if gun control worked, why isn't gun control working? Because it doesn't work. It's not a coincidence that liberal cities with the tightest fake gun control laws, because they don't control guns, have the highest crime rates. It's not an accident, folks. Good for President Trump. Even more FOing happening. So I'm talking about, you can sue all you want. We'll just keep it coming. There'll be a tidal wave of FOing EOs coming. The FOEO. I like that. Can we call that the FOEO? That's what we'll call it. The executive order. The find out executive order. Bill Melugin, Twitter, breaking. The Trump administration is seeking to deputize IRS agents to carry out illegal immigration enforcement with ICE at the U.S. Interior. Yes. You going to sue about that too? Donald Trump can allocate these people to do whatever he wants. We used to use what we call OTAs in the Secret Service all the time. Other Treasury agents, we'd bring them in to supplement us as post standards at sites. What, you're telling me we can't use IRS agents to protect our border? Good luck. Sue on that one too. Sue away. Let's see what happens. You'll just FO some more. Yeah, we know they're armed. Good point, Justin. I believe they're 1811s, the IRS agents, like anyone else. They can get out there. Everybody's got to help out. Folks, Kash Patel, thankfully, is closing in. Hopefully this week, maybe early next week. I hope this week. Tulsi looks good. Knock on wood. Tulsi looks good. Excellent. RFK looks good. Knock on wood. Excellent. I don't count chickens before they hatch. It's a stupid old cliche, but it matters. You get the point. Kash looks good, too. The Dems are trying to delay. They're writing ridiculous hit pieces that have not gotten any gravity at all. They're floating into the ether. Kash looks good. The Democrats now are freaking out over Kash, too, because they're realizing that the FBI, which is alleged to have leaked some of the CBP raids to get rid of illegal aliens and criminals in the country, if that's true, Kash Patel is going to get to the bottom of it right away. They know that. Here's Democrat Communist Senator A.B. Klobuchar. Notice how they specifically mentioned Kash. They are really worried about losing a politicized FBI to do their dirty work. Check this out.
And one of the things that we haven't even talked about is that our Republican colleagues have been acquiescing in all of this. I know this. I've seen a few of them stand up from time to time. Maybe they'll stand up to cancer trials being cut. Watch for it. Maybe they'll stand up to Kash Patel, which they sure better do, as this man who has shown no regard for the truth is about to become head of the FBI unless they stand up for it.
Notice how they focus so much on Kash. It goes back to the golden rule of the show, folks. In the chat, what is it? Get on the case there. Yes. Measure the effectiveness of what you're doing by where the Democrats train their fire. They have been dead set on getting Kash out of there because they're afraid that Kash is going to make the FBI great again, and they don't want it. Kash doesn't want a political FBI, either does anyone else. The Democrats do. They want this stuff to continue too. Folks, the FOing is going to continue. But it's amazing how little the media has picked up on this extinction burst type behavior against Trump. Did you guys see this Tennessee preacher, this video? You know, it's not highly disturbing, but this really isn't for kids. Calling for violence here, or at least appears to be calling for violence. I mean, you can listen to yourself. This is the kind of stuff that, you know, an FBI calling for violence that wasn't political should be investigating. I want you to listen to this. Check this out.
And in this nation, I'm worried that we are on the verge of bloodshed. This is an attempt to take us back to a day that we do not want to go and we will not go. So therefore, there will be conflict. I pray that the peace of God will win out and overcome the madness that is attempting to take over this nation. And I will say to you, beloved, no one likes violence, but sometimes violence is necessary. When Elon Musk forces his way into the United States Treasury and threatens to steal your personal information and your Social Security check, there is the possibility of violence. Sometimes the devil will act so ugly that you have no other choice but to get violent and fight.
Can you imagine Father Marty and Holy Redeemer talking about that with a Democrat? The Democrat, oh my gosh, the Biden FBI, the church should be shut down. They burn it to the ground. By the way, Elon, listen, you don't have to listen to me, but I would consider legal action against this guy. Elon Musk is threatening to steal your data. Are you sure you can defend that in court? You sure about that? I hate lawsuits, man. I'm not a litigious guy, but once in a while you're forced into a corner. What else are you going to do? If I were Elon, I would strongly consider that. Where's the FBI on that? You listen to his own words, man. You don't have to listen to me. Listen to what he said. We're happy to make you famous today, or infamous. Now, I haven't done it in a couple days, but it's important. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot forget the economy. We've got a lot going on, but the bottom line is one of the biggest issues that got Donald Trump elected was Joe Biden's absolute crap management of the economy. Garbage, inflation, and all this other stuff. Folks, government spending is the problem. Hat tip Elon who put this out. We've been using Milton Friedman videos for a long time, but I don't have the platform Elon does. If you don't know who Milton Friedman is, God rest his soul, you are missing out on one of the greatest economic minds in the last 200 years and a guy who can articulate economics better than anyone. This is only about 20 seconds. But I want you to keep this in mind as these new CBO reports are coming out about how bad our budget deficit is for the Democrats. Like, we don't need to cut $1 million here, $1 million there. No, we need to cut trillions. Trillions. Yes, that's how bad it is. Government spending is all that matters. It's all that matters. That is your tax rate. Listen to Friedman explain it.
As I said before, keep your eye on one thing and one thing only, how much government is spending. Because that's the true tax. Every budget is balanced. There is no such thing as an unbalanced federal budget. You're paying for it. If you're not paying for it through it in the form of explicit taxes, you're paying for it indirectly in the form of inflation or in the form of borrowing. The thing you should keep your eye on is what government spends. And the real problem is to hold down government spending as a fraction of our income. And if you do that, you can stop worrying about the debt.
Folks, Milton Friedman, we have played clips like this from him hundreds of times. Friedman says it right. There is no such thing as a debt that's unpaid, government or anything else. Either the debtor or the creditor pays it. I lend Michael money and he doesn't pay me back. The debt was paid by me. Michael pays it back. He paid the debt. The government borrows money to spend. Where do you think it's getting the money from? It's printing it. Well, what does printing money do? Creates more money, which does what? Creates inflation because more money is chasing the same products, which can charge more money because there's more money. It's not hard. This is easy stuff to figure out. Inflation is high and has been high because the government is spending too much money and printing it. Either way, you're paying, Daddy-O. And in case you think we have a taxing problem, let me go to the CBO. for you dipshit Democrats out there, too stupid to figure this out. The CBO is your government entity, Congressional Budget Office. So if you're telling us government is great and that the CBO is lying, then government isn't great. CBO report came out yesterday. Notice the tax revenues were up $11 billion. They were 1% higher. Wow, so that must mean the debt went down. No, the debt went up by $317 billion. Wait, so you mean taxes aren't the problem because they keep going higher? We're just spending more? Yes. That sounds like spending is the problem. Yes. But I'm a liberal. You're a moron. Yes. It doesn't matter what we tax. The government just spends more. You understand now why they are freaking out? Why they are freaking out about this? By the way, here's a quick video. The Biden jobs report, the last one from the Biden era that just came out. It covers the last 3 months of the Biden era. All had to be revised down. Listen to the great Peter St. Onge about just how crappy this Biden economy was. Check this out.
Joe Biden's final job report is out, and it's a doozy, a veritable orgy of revisions, kicking off with a massive Bureau of Labor Statistics revision that wiped out 589,000 imaginary jobs the Biden administration had been propping up until the election. Every single month of 2024 was revised down, and keep in mind, this is not the whole story. The Philly Fed thinks there's another 800,000 fake jobs lurking in the sweet nothings of Biden's finest government statisticians.
Folks, however bad you thought the Biden economy was, yes, it's worse. It is worse. The job numbers were faked. The budget deficits were unprecedented. The printing of money was unprecedented. What I'm getting at is, listen to me, please. This is really important. I need you to be patient with President Trump and the economic team. I know it's hard because there's a lot going on. He's doing a lot right now. Forget the chewing gum and walking at the same time. He's chewing gum, hitting fastballs, shooting free throws, and walking at the same time. I need you to be patient. This mess is not going to be cleaned up in a day. It is going to take some massive cutting of government in the trillions. It is going to take reform of entitlement programs. No other way. We're going to have to get the fraud out of it, and we're going to have to get grounded in some sound economic accounting principles again, or we are going to go bankrupt. They can do it, but it's going to take time. I know. Jasmine Crockett, we got to get to that tomorrow, especially now that Jim has the dumbest member of Congress pool up going soon again. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it.